guys, my name's James.
And I'm Ashley.
3 years ago, we sold our house and we've been traveling across the country ever since.
Hi, I'm Goose. I'm Affleck.
Join us!
This road, it takes me home where skies are blue. I walk this road because I know it leads to you. No matter when, no matter why, I have a place to go.
Guys, I don't know if our poor little tree that we transplanted is gonna make it. It's barely holding on here. It's seen better days. Unfortunately, we don't have a ton of water to spare for it, but I might get a little bit to it today because it's struggling. It is a very oddly quiet morning here at the property. I am the only one here. Goose, Maverick, and Ash are all back in Central Oregon. They're still house/dog/horse sitting for Grammy and Pops. But since we're gonna be there for almost 3 weeks and we are so itching to get stuff done on the property, we decided that she would stay back with the kids and take care of the animals and them, and I would come here for about a week or so and try and make some damage here. Try and get as much done as we can because there's just, as you know, so much to do. So this morning, my goal is to disassemble this platform that she had built here, which was where she slept, because this was like her sleeping quarters. But obviously that's not up to code and it's not what we had planned for the space. So I'm gonna remove it, but I'm gonna try and do it as like gently as possible because that's some good lumber up there, and lumber prices are like at an astronomical high right now. An individual 2x4 is like $4, which is crazy. So that's quite a bit of money up there. So I'm gonna try and take it apart nicely so we can reuse it as much as possible, and ready to get the walls opened up because right now there's just plywood on all the walls, and we're gonna have to rewire the whole house, so we have to open up those walls anyway. So step 1, platform. Step 2, removing all of the plywood walls. Oh, and if you guys are wondering why we have all these tarps and whatnot on here, in the last video, we bug bombed the house because it's been 12 years of basically being a shop, and so there was all sorts of spiders and critters and whatnot. So we got a fogger set up here in the other room and bombed it for a week or so. So now it's time to clean it all up. I'm already finding toys under the couches. So these screws, especially in the corners, are ridiculously hard to get to because they installed it and then painted like this thick coat of paint over it. So not only is it kind of dark up here and hard to see, but then the screws are buried in gobs of paint. So far it's actually going pretty well. I was a little worried about that corner one, but so far so good. mean, Goose was asking for monkey bars, right? There it is. It's done. Oh, guys, this was a beast. But look at how much nicer it is. This is the first time we're really seeing it opened up from top to bottom. Because before, with that there, kind of you lost the vaulted ceilings, kind of made the space feel a little bit more claustrophobic. But now you're really kind of feeling the full size of what it's going to be like in here. I mean, it's not massive by any means, but compared to RV life, I mean, it is massive. This one room is still larger than our entire trailer was, square footage, because this room's about 400 and our trailer was about 350, so not bad for kitchen, living, dining room.
Second chances, stealing glances, I did it wrong. Shouting matches, we've been through some real rough patches. I know that it's true.
So now that I've cleaned out the whole front room back there where the kitchen used to be, as you can see, it's gotten a little bit crazy in this room back here. And as you guys know, we ordered that shipping container to be a storage/shop. And so I did some rearranging in the back to make some more room. So my goal is to get all of this plywood and 2x4s and 2x6s, things we bought, things that were left here, things from when I disassembled the loft up above, all of that I'm going to try and get neatly organized into the container, because it only makes sense for the plywood and the 2x4s and all that to be where all the tools are, where I'll be doing the cutting and the measuring and all that out there. Plus it allows us to free up the house so we can start doing some conceptualizing on where the rooms are going to be, tape things off, and just kind of get an idea of what it's going to feel like. So before it gets too hot outside, let's go ahead and start doing that.
'Cause I feel a change coming, like a clean rain pouring down on me. All these phases, betting races, I played them all.
Holy crap, you guys. I'm not afraid of reptiles or anything, but that scared the crap out of me. I was walking over here into the kitchen, and all of a sudden, right across my feet, that little guy just scurried. And that was in like the far end of the room, so I don't know where he came from, how long he's been in here, but man, that scared the crap out of me. So I had to shoo the little guy all the way from in there, close that door so we couldn't get back in there because I lost him somewhere out here. And I found him again. That's when I pulled out the camera and then shoot him out the rest of the way. Hopefully he doesn't work his way back in here, because I would hate to have to end him. It just feels wrong. But if he keeps coming back in, that might be a thing. Whew. I know that seems pathetic, but that scared the crap out of me.
'Cause I feel a change coming, like a clean rain pouring down on me. Yeah, I feel a change coming, like a clean rain pouring down on me.
Alright, so I got this entire wall open, which looks super nice and clean, so I'm glad about that. I was a little worried at how bad that wall was going to look. There might be a little moisture on that lower sill there, but I think it's going to be okay and not have to be replaced.
Cause I feel a change coming, like a clean rain pouring down on me.
Actually, I think I'm gonna go get some dinner. I was going to try and bust this out before that, but it's already after 8 and I'm getting hungry. It's amazing how when the girls aren't here and Ashley's not making dinner all the time that I can like eat lunch at 3, have dinner at like 8 or 9. My schedule gets way off without you, babe. Alright guys, so I've been out here for a little bit fiddling around trying to figure out the best way to go about removing this wall. I've got a fair amount of pieces off. This one, as you can see, is pretty much gone except for this one piece of wood goes all the way behind this header here. And since our goal eventually for this area is to have that be a hallway with 8-foot or even 9-foot ceilings, I need to definitely take out that 14-inch chunk right there because to the top of that part right there, that is 8 feet. So I definitely want to remove that. And the benefit of this wall and anything in here is if it's wood, I know for a fact it's not load bearing because this whole structure is a steel structure and everything that's wood in here was added after the fact as a cosmetic, partitions and dividers and whatnot. So I can remove that without worrying at all about it being load bearing or having any issues like that. So that's what I'm going to work on tonight. My goal is to get that header piece out and then be able to start removing the plywood on here so I can see the back side of the bathroom. That way we can do electrical and plumbing and whatnot back there. There we go. This will make things easier. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't actually use this on the wall. I think Ashley would kill me if I used a chainsaw to demo the wall. Especially a wall we still plan on using. But I mean, come on, you gotta admit this would be fun, right? But no, we won't do it. Much easier. Man, all this just because I want to take this plywood off over here on these two walls. I mean, I knew we would have to do this eventually up here on this header, but was not expecting to do this tonight. Alright, look at that. We have an 8-foot hallway. Doorway. And now I can remove this plywood, theoretically.
I don't wanna write this song. Potato chips and coffee, deadlines never stop me. Global woman, open door. Learning to negotiate, buying up some real estate. And you know when it's good, cause it goes so fast. I guess everybody's looking for a high that lasts. So I'm soaking up the sunshine, putting out the good vibes, take another slow ride, living on the high tide. Everything is alright, dancing in the daylight, soaking up the sunshine, sunshine.
So this was her tankless water heater that she had, and I've read some reviews about it online and it seemed okay, but like hit or miss and whatnot. So what we're gonna end up doing is putting in probably a gas or a propane hot water tank heater. And so we're just gonna go ahead and remove this. Maybe down the line we'll keep it for something, or maybe we'll just sell it, I don't know. But that's what this is. This is her little tiny tankless hot water heater. So I need to go get my larger tools and get this taken off because I can't really get behind this wall until we remove that. Oh, and I did make sure that the circuit breaker for the hot water heater is off. The only two breakers that are on in the house are the lights and the outlets that I'm currently using. So just to be safe, I turned off everything possible except for what I'm using right now. Now that doesn't mean that this might not be miswired or something, so I will go get my voltmeter and test this out because things are weird, like the walls over here are on the same circuit as these lights. It's just all kind of crazy. But, so I'm actually, as I'm talking out loud, I'm learning, or I'm remembering what I should be doing. So I will go get my voltmeter and test this out before I remove it. But theoretically, the breaker's off for this. Interesting, I've never actually seen the inside of one of these. I expected it to be a lot more complicated. So theoretically, we should be good. I'm getting no voltage readings, so we should be good to unwire it. Fingers crossed. I'm always a little bit nervous when I'm dealing with 120 or 110 volts. It's a little sketchy. Some of this scarring makes me a little bit nervous about this too, how it's hooked up. And there's this like black back here on the wall. So I don't know if I would trust this even if it was our only option. Realistically, yeah, look at that. That's like, my screw is missing. Like I can't even unscrew that. This is so, oh yeah, look at that. It's just fried. So there was a short in there for sure. That was a fire hazard waiting to happen. I don't know what caused that. Maybe a loose connection. And there was just enough resistance to cause that. But man, that's sketchy. I'm glad I'm taking it apart. I think I'm just gonna have to cut that wire. Actually, maybe I'll just cut all of these wires right here. That might be the easier thing to do, is just to cut it right back there. Man, that was way more difficult to snip through those than I feel like it should have been. Either my wire cutters are extremely dull, or these are some ridiculously heavy duty wires. Anyways, now that I got that off, it's time to undo some of these fittings and get this thing off. All just so I can see behind this wall and, well, I guess, and the main reason I need to get behind here is because not only are we gonna be putting sheetrock up instead of plywood, but also none of this is gonna be here. Actually in this corner, theoretically, we're gonna put our hot water heater, and then all these pipings are gonna have to be closed up. But I am assuming that this is the primary place where all of the fresh water comes into the shop. I'm guessing it's back up in here, and that's what I really wanna see what's behind here, because I think I'll be doing a lot of work behind this wall in the upcoming months. The inside of this really fascinates me. The fact that one loop around this tube is enough to get it to like 100 degrees or whatnot. It's quite cool. Like the technology behind these instant hot water heaters is quite impressive. Man, I'm telling you, this is like a friggin' fun house. Every corner, every board I remove, I find something new. I removed this sheet of plywood, and there's more plywood behind it. I don't know. Like, there's a stud right here, so I have no idea why this plywood... I don't know what's going on. This is why I'm removing everything I can and starting from scratch, because I want to make sure it's done right, done up to code, and like not only safe but like long term. I know it will last. And like, not that this is bad to have an extra sheet of plywood here, I just don't understand it. Let's open the next funhouse door. Ta-da! Alright, so at least some of this is making sense. This is our hot line. Our cold. We got our two power sources. One that was coming here for her washing machine that was here, and one coming here for the hot water heater. These are our lines running to the switches right here, then up to the fan and whatnot. So that's making a little sense. I just don't understand why this is here. That's all. All right, next board. I don't know if there was a mouse at some point that got into some dog food and just hit all this in the wall, but I don't see any other signs of a rodent, but that is definitely dog food in a wall. The funhouse continues. Alright guys, now that the wall is completely down and I feel like I've done a fair amount of demolition, I'm going to go ahead and call it quits for the night. I'm a little bit nervous about all these crazy roadblocks we're hitting, but I am so excited about the potential that this place has to be our future home base, our future home for years to come. I cannot wait. And we haven't even started to talk about all of my plans for the outside of this house. We have so much going on, so much to talk about. But until next time, guys, stay positive, get out there. Life is an adventure, so make some memories. Seriously, I need some water. Caulking still looks good. Fingers crossed. Oh, check that